do it. Good evening. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to tonight's leadership call. My name is Miriam Kareem, and welcome. So it's Sunday, and one quick thing I recalled from my experience as a newbie. I wanted to just give a quick tip to make sure you go over your notes when you listen to recordings of, if you took notes. Sometimes you might not, you're hurrying, writing your notes down, but it really can help you to retain the information when you're listening to a replay and you have your notes in front of you, because sometimes you may forget or not have gotten a concept until you heard it again, until you see what you wrote, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's what that meant. Let me just add this on. So it will help you learn faster. Don't be like me and take the notes, like when I was first started, take the notes down and don't look at them no more. I can tons of notes that I have that I've been going over, and I'm like, oh, but I've heard it so much. That's why Coach Will and Coach Marcus and all the other coaches, Coach Sonic, they say, what is repeated is remembered, and what is remembered is repeated. When you hear over and over and over again, it helps you to retain that information. But when you go over your notes, it really helps it retain a lot faster. And that's all I have to say today. So with that being said, tonight's teacher is our amazing Coach Will Zanders. He is a very kind-hearted person. He is has surpassed 7 figures in green organics companies, and super helpful, very conceptual in teaching so that you get the concepts. So I'm gonna just stop tooting the horn, and Coach Will Zanders, are you ready, sir?
I am, Miriam. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
And thank you so much. And I appreciate you for that kind introduction, as well as the tips from the newbie corner. I like that a lot. And again, all of us could take a lesson from that, not just people who've been in the industry for a while, but anytime I get a chance to participate in the training with any leaders in the industry, or even new up and coming leaders such as yourself and some others that we have on the call, I even try my best to take notes and then to go back over the notes, because what happens metaphysically in the brain, or I'm sorry, not metaphysically, biomechanically in the brain, when you hear some new information the first time, some of that information is going to get processed immediately, other part of it will not. Then your brain is going to develop new neural pathways, and it takes a little bit of time for that to happen. So sometimes when you hear the same information again, a couple of days or weeks later, you'll be like, is that new? Is that piece? I don't remember hearing that before. It's not that you didn't hear it, it's that the brain didn't process it because it had no commensurate type of neural pathway to process that type of information. It's the same thing when people are learning a foreign language. When you first start to learn a foreign language, especially if the letters are not our style of letters in the alphabet, to compare English and Spanish, which uses an alphabet that we're familiar with, you compare that to Korean or Japanese, their character set is way different. So when you first look at an Asian language, it's going to be like, I don't even understand what these symbols mean. If you really start to learn it and process it, a couple of months later, you'll go, okay, I know what that is. That's an A, that would be a B. The sounds start to make sense. And it's the same thing with information. So repetition is the mother of learning. And as Miriam alluded to that, we all say, and she says this too now, what is repeated is remembered, and what is remembered is repeated. And more importantly is what is done and what is demonstrated in your physical action is understood. So it's one level to get the notes, two, to go back over the notes to process that information, and then three, you're going to want to go ahead and actually do some of the things that you've learned, and that'll get those amazing results. So let me give a quick shout out. I'm not sure who's on the call and who's not, but someone who just hit the $500 level in commissions, Francine Violette. I see Francine on the calls from time to time. I don't want to butcher her last name. I think it's French, and I'm not pronouncing that properly. But Francine, congratulations on your $500 in commissions. I want to congratulate Belinda Joetta, and Allison on all hitting $1,000 relatively recently. We did not announce it on the last call. That's Belinda Ann Smith, Joetta Ripley, and Allison Rowell. I want to congratulate Jessica Hill. I think we already announced it, but we're going to congratulate Jessica again. I'm pretty sure she and Sydney Brown are both over $3,000 in commissions. And also Leslie Millthorpe. Leslie's been with us for a little while, and Leslie's over $25,000 in commissions. But we all started with that first dollar in commissions. I don't care if you're here and you're a $5,000 earner or a $50,000 earner or $750,000 earner. We all started off with the first dollar of commissions. And I don't want anybody to ever neglect or disrespect your own small beginnings. We all started off getting that first commission. Coach Marcus, do you remember your first check over 5 years ago? I think it was with HB because we weren't with GoDasana back then. Yeah, what was your first? How much was your first commission amount? Mine was like
mine $3.25.
$3.20. He remembers that. I think mine might have been $2.40. And then like a week or two later, it was $7 and change. And I was excited. I didn't know where it came from, but I was hyped. And we remember those numbers, remember those days. That was back in 2019 for both of us. Coach Seymour remembers too, $3. And he was there back in 2019 too, because you do not want to neglect the small beginnings. It's the first 1 or 2 bricks that lay the whole foundation for the house. So congratulations to those ladies. And we will see y'all at the next event for sure. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hop off camera, going to hop over to some notes so we can keep this call under time. I appreciate everybody for hopping on tonight. And I want to thank Coach Marcus and Miriam as well for getting us situated on these Zooms, because you know it's a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, Orlando, don't need to talk a whole lot about it, but y'all really need to be there February 21st to the 23rd. If you need any information about that, you can contact me or Coach Marcus, but you definitely need to be there online or in person. Only if, big caveat, only plan on being there online or in person if you plan on taking your business to another level in 2025. If you're already happy with the course and scope of your business and you don't feel like it really needs to grow a lot in 2025, then consider that event optional. Second announcement, not going to take up too much time on this. The Bible-based personal development course details have been dropped in the different chats that we're in. I'm not going to talk a lot about that and take up time on that on the call, because that particular training, the Bible-based personal development class, it's 24 weeks long. It's not for everybody, and it will require about 30 minutes a day of work, and it is not free, okay? So if you want the information on that, if you haven't got it already, please message me on Facebook Messenger, and I will send you the details, and you can make a decision if you want to get one of those last available spots. Totally up to you. And also we got 2 more announcements here. Coach Marcus has made an absolutely incredible scripted and made a 90-second business opportunity video. It is by far my favorite business opportunity video that we have ever seen. And I'm so grateful for him for just taking the leadership role and getting that project completed. We are working on a slight variation of that video for HBN. But right now, the GoDasana one is ready. I think Coach Marcus has already posted that on the One Team, One Dream YouTube channel. That's a great tool for you to share with your prospects and have them get back with you after they understand the information. I believe that video should be used in conjunction with a good industry validation video. But even without the industry validation video, that video is really good for people who want more information. And it's just 90 seconds. I think it's less than 90 seconds. Who doesn't have less than 90 seconds to evaluate an opportunity? I have no idea. So we anticipate a lot of great results. So y'all can show Coach Marcus some love in the chat for that. Great video. I've already sent it out to some people with some incredible results. And I anticipate that you'll be able to do the same thing. And it works perfectly with the scripts that we've been sharing for the last couple of weeks. Also, last minute Christmas gifts, ladies and gentlemen, the $7.95 mystery gifts are still on the website. I think they were supposed to be gone on the 20th, but they are still there, and I'm very excited about that. So if you have any last minute Christmas gifts that you need to do and you don't have time to go to the post office and get in those lines and everything, go to your website, your GoDasana, or I think they might still be with HBN too, I'm not sure. But if I know for sure, you can go to your GoDasana website, and for $7.95, you can get oils that are worth anywhere from $19.95 to $29.95. So you're getting a great value there, and you can drop ship them directly to the address of your friend or family member who you wanted to get a Christmas gift for. So it's one of the best values to save you some time, energy, and money. And I've done at least 12 of those. Really, really excited. Saved me so much time, money, energy, and effort this Christmas season. And we're giving people a gift of health. That's the most important gift in the world. All right, let's get down to the training for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to be talking about one of the core concepts and one of the most important mindsets in network marketing tonight. And it's going to be keeping the main thing the main thing. The only concept more important than that is probably the concept of until you know why, the how doesn't matter. Okay, if I were to give you two things tonight, and you would write these things down, if you want to understand the proper mindsets, the time-tested, proven mindsets of top earners, I would highly recommend that you write down those two. Okay, until you know why, the how doesn't matter. You got to know why you're doing this business. Please write that down. And then the second one would be that keeping the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. It is so easy to get distracted with this, that, or and third, not outside of the business, but even in the business. There are so many distractions that can prevent you from getting the one foundational step, action step successfully achieved that will help build the proper foundation for your residual income and growth moving forward. Let's talk about that. The main thing is when you get to people and then you implement and teach the same things you did after you enroll two people to help them enroll two people. And quite frankly, you don't need to be worried about doing a lot else until you have that done, okay? For people who have the ability and the desire to go diamond, sure, go diamond, get it out of the way, and then get back to the main thing. Because we've had an explosion in a good way of diamonds lately. I probably need to update some of the slides in the diamond photo album for that. But I can tell you, most diamonds at the company do not have their two people. I can tell you that. And that's probably what most companies in network marketing, because we get caught up in the ranks and listen, I'm a diamond. I'm a double diamond. I'm a diamond at both companies. I'm all about it. I am all about it. Always have been, wouldn't have it any other way. However, I can tell you, and I've told you this before we hit the ranks and after we hit the ranks, that your real focus, your real goal, the main thing that is going to get you success, not necessarily the recognition, but it's going to get you the income. And that's hopefully what you're really here for is the residual income first, the recognition can come second, is that you are going to want to get two people and help them duplicate. When I say get two people, I mean find two people who feel the same way you do about health and wellness and wealth and community and travel and fun and personal development and spiritual growth and family. Find people who feel the same way you do about the core beliefs that govern your life, whatever they happen to be for you. If you're a patriot and you truly love your country, regardless of what country you're in, we have team members all across the world at this point. If you're super, super passionate about where you live, then find people who are super passionate about where they live too and where you live, your neighbors, your friends. It's really a lot simpler than it is. And I'm going to tell you a piece of advice, and I put this in the category of not positive advice. I put this in the category of negative advice. And when I say negative advice, I don't mean advice that's bad. It's still very good advice, but I mean negative in terms of opposite. Okay, so what does that mean? So Rolf Kipp, and Rolf is a $1 million a month earner. Okay, one of my mentors, he's $1 million a month earner at another company. I've never worked with that company. He's never worked with us, but he has mentored me from time to time. And he's from Germany. Okay, Rolf is from Germany. And when he first started with his company, it was a US-based company, okay? And the company didn't have any products with German written on them. It was all English products, English labels, English websites and everything. But he felt so strong about the products that he said, I'm just going to figure this thing out. And he spent over 6 months translating and basically learning English for the purposes of translating the information on the company and the website into presentation materials where he could get people in Germany sponsored. Now, fast forward a few years, well, fast forward several years, probably 6 to 10 years, if I had to guess. He's already made a ton of money, but when he hit that, I think it might have been around year 8, could have been closer to year 10. But the bottom line is, he was at $1 million a month. He was the first $1 million a month earner. And I love that story because it tells you that if you're not committed to a company for 6 to 10 years, don't even worry about, you can make $1 million, sure, but you're not going to make $1 million a month. We're talking $12 million a year You're not going to make that unless you're at a company for a significant period of time. I hate to break it to you, it's the truth and how it works. It's the reality of network marketing that a lot of people don't talk about. You're not going to be doing it 40 hours a week. Okay, you're not going to be doing it 87 hours a day. It might be a day, or it might be an hour or two a day, but it's going to be a while. Okay, and that's just the truth. And if you don't want the truth, then this isn't the call for you. And another thing he said was, other than the fact that it's going to take a while to get to this level, another thing that he said was, you can't do that jumping around from company to company to company. Now, I don't know if it's something different psychologically with German network marketers versus US-based network marketers. Wasn't a whole lot of company jumping going on in his organization due to the fact that most network marketing companies were not based out of Germany back at that time. It was mostly US companies. They couldn't translate the websites anyway. So it was really not a lot of company jumping because people could not even evaluate other programs. So it really worked out to their benefit that people could not learn about other programs. Even back in the US, and I'm going to come back to Rolf Kipp's story about German network marketers in a second, but even at Amway, when Dexter Yeager and Bill Britt were there making literally 10, 20, $30 million in a year, just crazy type of money there, just understand that that was a day and age before the internet. So when you joined Amway back then, that's probably because that was the only company in your neighborhood or your city, and there was nothing else you can get exposed to. So when social media came about, these goofy network marketers could try to get you to leave your company or leave your team by just telling you, or quote unquote, using social media to show you a side of business that quite frankly doesn't exist. Okay, when I say a side of business that doesn't exist, it's easy when you're building your business and you're going through the trenches and you're putting in the work. It's easy to say, oh, I'm having a rough rough running this business. You know, this is not the month for me. Maybe I thought this was my year to become a six-figure earner. It wasn't. Maybe next year, my health got in the way, my relationship got in the way, something happened, I got to buckle down. And when you're thinking that, it's easy for someone else to show you the all good side of another opportunity with none of the negative, okay? And that makes it a lot more likely for you to want to evaluate that opportunity. And then you'll realize, if you're silly enough to go to that opportunity, dang, I got to build it anyway. No matter what happens, I still have to build it anyway. Nobody is ever going to do all the work for me, and anything going on in my life here, it's going to be going on in my life there. I guess those guys at my company were right. And I hear this all the time, by the way. So the moral to the story is, there's no such thing as a one-sided dollar bill. Okay? There is no such thing as a one-sided dollar bill. I got to be very, very clear about that. All right? No such thing as a one-sided dollar bill. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know what else to say about it. It doesn't exist. Okay? Doesn't exist. Any company, any relationship, any job, even any car, any move, everything's going to have two sides to it, the upside and the downside. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right. And yeah, thank you, Sydney, so much for being in the with the notes. We appreciate that. And we'll keep the party going. All right. So last thing I'll tell you about German network marketers that I've learned, as opposed to, you know, us US-based network marketers, is that they're going to keep it really simple. They're going to keep it really simple. It's going to be two who get two. They're not going to deviate much from that. And Rolf told me, he said, you know, you guys in the US, you have so many amazing opportunities, but you overcomplicate stuff. You overcomplicate it. He said, with every pay plan, there's going to be a set, short, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 steps at the most, okay? That if you complete those steps and teach those steps, you're going to make all the money that you want and more. There's no need to overcomplicate it. Now, we've distilled that. We understood that here. It's become a product of the product. It's learn, it's sponsor your two people, and then help them duplicate the exact same thing. That's really what you want to focus on. That's the main thing. The main thing that you want to do, and we're not going to do anything opposed to that. That is what we're going to do. That's how that's going to go. Okay. Now, when I say keep the main thing, to bring it full circle, getting your two people, sponsoring your two people, helping your two people, and helping them do the same thing is the main thing. If you were to do that with GoDasana, and that's all you were to do, okay, and you fill up a star grid, just hear me out. All you do is focus on two people who duplicate, and you never sponsored more than two people. The second you fill up your first star grid, That's going to be $350 a month, not including the matrix commissions, not including your fast starts or anything else, not including any check match. You'll be over $500 a month if that's all you did. At HBN, if you sponsor 2 people and you didn't do anything else other than help them duplicate, you never did anything else other than help them duplicate, and you fill up 1 star grid, that's going to be $575 in bonuses, but that's not going to be including the binary commissions, the check match, the fast starts, or anything else. So you'll be over $1,000 at that point. With these companies, you can quite literally be close to $2,000 a month, and all you did was sponsor 2 people, okay, with one company and 2 people with the other company. And that's all you did. I'm gonna say that again. If you sponsor 2 people with either company and you simply built that out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels deep, you would be at about $2,000 a month, okay, with both companies. Just understand that conceptually, that keeping the main thing is the main thing. So if you're a person who has the ability to sponsor large numbers of people, that's fantastic. You're going to do great, obviously. But until you start getting that duplication in your organization, until you start having people that you have personally sponsored on your first 1 or 2 levels who start to get those type of results, I'm going to tell you what you have. I hate to break it to you. You have a low-paying sales job. All right. And how do I know that? Because that was me. I was a super sponsor, absolute super sponsor. I would sponsor so many people, and I did not learn from my first few years in network marketing. I didn't know that the lost secret of network marketing is that in order to be successful long-term, you have to teach people to teach people to teach people. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, technically, you don't have to do the teaching. We'll handle most of that. We'll do 80% of it. But the 20% of teaching that you do will actually get you 80% of the results. Will, what does that mean? The 20% of information that you get to your new rep, that 20% of information that you give them in the beginning, okay, I'm telling you that information is going to get you 80% of the results on the residual income side of it, okay? Why? Because it's about the onboarding. It's quite literally about the onboarding, ladies and gentlemen. When you get a new member signed up, one of the worst things you can do is just kind of slide out the way to go sponsor some new people. I'm gonna say that again. When you sponsor a team member, if you do not get them onboarded properly, okay? If you don't get them onboarded properly and you just leave them to go sponsor some new people, you are doing yourself a disservice and you're doing them a disservice, okay? You only have to provide them with about 20%, of the information they need. I'm going to tell you what that is right now, by the way. That should take you about an hour or so to do. And once you do that, you've put them in a position, you've given them the ball. And now they can choose if they want to run the ball or if they want to fumble the ball. But as the quarterback, okay, you have to give them the ball, throw them the ball. And as the wide receiver, they can catch it or drop it, totally up to them. But once they catch it or drop, once they catch it, they can decide if they want to run or slide or run out of bounds, do whatever. But you got to get them the ball. Hand it off or throw it to them. You got to get them the ball. And the ball is information. Okay. So when you first sponsor a new member, just let me run through this real quick with you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do 7. we'll add 1 for people. Okay. This is once they're in business. Okay. Number 1, they need to be doing 1 post per day. And you learned all of the scripts in the previous calls that we've done the last 2 weeks. If you haven't, go watch the recordings and you'll hear all of the scripts and the follow-up scripts and how to do Facebook and how to get people to ask you videos. And we even gave you a video from Coach Marcus, as well as industry validation videos that you can use to send to your prospects. If you're confused on which one to send, go ahead and send both of them, doesn't matter. But get them some information and they can make their own decision after the fact. But number 1, make 1 post per day. Number 2, you should be watching 2 videos per day. And the videos can be about personal development, like leadership, generating rapport, motivation, spiritual growth. And the other video can be about network marketing skills, okay? Rapport, inviting, closing, presenting, promoting events, following up, and all these other amazing skills, lead generation, everything, okay? Number 3, you need to be clicking on 3 links a day in your back office. Number 4, you need to write down your top 4 reasons why and make sure your sponsor has those. If you're the sponsor, you need to request that from them. Let them know, Yes, in time, next day or two, I would like your full list of your top 20 reasons why you want to be successful in business. But right now, during this first onboarding phone call, I need to go ahead and get your top 4 reasons why you want to be successful. Just get that done. Number 5, they need to be spending 5 minutes on the phone with you as their sponsor 5 days a week. For their first couple of months, they need to be on the phone with you 5 minutes a day for about 5 days a week. Y'all schedule it when you can. Okay, make that happen. Now, if you've already got several people sponsored, 50, 80 people sponsored, you're doing Zooms there. Okay, it might be a little different for you. But for most people, no, you definitely got the time to spare 5 minutes a day, especially when you're driving to or from work or whatever. Number 6, when your new person signs up, let them know they need to write a list of the 6 people closest to them who are not their social media folks for the most part. That's going to be their hot market. And that's going to help them get that first 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 first orders. That's going to help them get that first 1 or 2 orders that really builds their belief and starts the momentum. And if I was going to add an optional number 7, it would be to be checking in to the Facebook groups. You got to invite them to the Facebook groups, obviously, and make sure that they're checking that group once a day for 7 days. Just check in. You're going to be on Facebook anyway. They're going to be on Facebook anyway. Just tell them once a day you're going to check into those 2 groups, the testimonial group as well as the information group, and you're just going to check in those groups and see if there's anything you needed to see, and that's that. You can identify if there's anything else you need to see in there within 10 to 15 seconds. Then you can go on about your day. But those are the things that you can teach them how to do on the phone or in person over a cup of coffee. Within the first day or 2 of them signing up, they need to go through that 7 quick step onboarding training. That's 20% of the information that they will ever need. And when you get them that information and make sure they understand the action steps, that's why we talked about do this that day, do this the next day, do this for the next 5 days. It's a schedule of activity that they need to do. You have given them the ball. And if they do the stuff, that is the equivalent of them running with the ball, okay? But once you give them the ball, if they choose not to do any of the 7 things you just talked about, okay, and of course, using the products and things like that, but if they don't choose to do that, then that's on them. They're fumbling the ball. But as the quarterback or the quarterback, you can't really get mad about that. Okay, you might need to go sponsor another person. All right, how about that? Let's go sponsor another person because you won't know for the first 90 days, if not longer, if the 2 people you have are your 2 people. Okay, how many people on the chat? How many people on the chat have sponsored people who have been around for a couple of weeks or a couple of months? Who knows? But how many people have sponsored people you thought might have been that person? And then a couple of months later, they long gone. And I mean long gone, long gone. I'm like, oh man, they told me they was the one. They told me they was going to the top. They look, see, we all been there. Everybody been there. Got the heavy hitters showed up. And guess what? Oh man, you gave them the info, you helped them do what they need to do. But once you gave them the ball, they did not run with the ball. They fumbled the ball. And that's something. Look, Seymour said, they even told him, don't give up on me. And they done gave up on themselves. Lauren says she has one that says she's all in but been inactive for 6 months. Look, T said this, and Tiara's on fire. I don't know if y'all know, but if y'all ain't seen Diamond Future 6-figure earner Tiara Moore, she on fire, been on fire the last year. She said she gave them everything. They just ain't motivated. And that's it. Okay, Nakia made a great statement right there. Queen B, Nakia O'Shea says right there, she's still looking for her 2. And that's real. That's real. The 2 people you sponsor, they're going to end up being great. Okay, they might end up being better than you. Okay, I know Coach Sonic says that, and I love it. We want people better than us, but they might not start out better than you. They're going to start out as a person, and all they have to do is be coachable and teachable. That's it. They don't have to be rock stars. They don't have to be able to sponsor more than 2 people. And so that's all we're doing is we're always looking for the right person at the right time in their life. And I'll tell you a quick story, and then we'll move on to one more script. I'll tell you a quick story. So you've got and if you know the story, don't ruin it for everybody. But let's see what the answers are. All right. Now you're in the Marines. Yep. You, me, Miriam, Tom, everybody in the Marines. And we are in the Marines, and we are in a rescue helicopter. Me, Miriam, and Tommy. Sorry, Tommy, I just swapped you out. Doing the Marines today, buddy. All right. And we're rolling, okay? We're rolling. Look, Stephanie says she needs that tiara. Girl, we all, look, Tiara need another tiara. We all would love to have multiple tiaras in our business. All right, so we on a rescue chopper. Look at Tommy. We're on a rescue chopper. Now, in the distance in the water, in the ocean, we see a 5-year-old, okay? We see a grandmother. We see a 20-year-old man, a 20-year-old woman, and a grandfather. So 5 people, all right? 2 elderly people. None of these people are related. 2 middle-aged people and 2 kindergartners. So it's 6 people in the ocean of all different nationalities and whatever. One black, one white, one Asian, one Latino, one Canadian, one from Trinidad and Tobago, all different nationalities in these 6 little group of people. And we only got 1 life preserver. Yeah, hold your answer if you know the answer to the story, because there's only 1 right answer. Okay. And remember, it's a girl and a boy. It's 3 girls and 3 guys. Remember that. Okay. Now, you got the chopper, and we got 1 life preserver that we get to throw down. 1 life preserver. And the thing is, you can only fit 4 people in the rescue chopper, and we already got 3. And it's a high likelihood if whatever one we take might be the only one that lives. Now, my question for y'all is, which person do you throw the life preserver to? Okay. No, they're all at the moment I asked the question, they're all equal distant. At the moment I asked the question, they're all equal. Everything's equal at the moment I asked the question. After that, who knows what's going to happen? So who are you going to rescue? The girl or the guy? Okay, all the people who've already heard this story have done messed it up for everybody. Yes, whoever is swimming toward the chopper. Jessica said the youngest one, the youngest girl. See, now, Jessica, that's what I would have said. I would have said Jessica. Look, Karen's thinking right. See, those are the answers I like to see. 2 kids, because they take up the space of 1 person. You know, but the correct answer is the one swimming to the chopper, who's ever trying to get there. Whoever, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can't pass up the one trying to get there to go pick the one you want. You gotta reward the one that is putting forth the effort to get it. It's okay that they spoil the answer, but because the answer is the one swimming to get there. But my original answer when I first heard that was actually just the youngest 1 girl. And the reason I picked the youngest 1 girl is because I thought, A, she's the youngest, she's got the most life to live, and 2, she might have a family one day, and she could have kids when a little boy couldn't. That was all I was thinking, was just from a pure biological standpoint, take the little girl. She got the most life to live, and she can give the most life to other people. That's what I was thinking. But no, answer would be the one swimming to the chopper, because you cannot pass up the little 5-year-old boy to say, nope, I got to take the girl. Or if the grandmother was swimming and she is out swimming the 20-year-olds, you cannot pass up the person trying the hardest to get to somebody that's not. You can't do it. Yeah, we trust me, we'd have called some other choppers for sure. But that's the point, ladies and gentlemen. It's like that in network marketing. It's not going to be about the one that you really want or think, ooh, if this person would just be great, if they would just see the way I see it, ooh, they could be so good. They could be so good. That ain't never who it is. It's the person who wants it the most. And the reason I told that story is because Tiara said it. She said, I gave them everything, but they just ain't motivated. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't care how many times you take a chicken and put it in a flock of eagles at the top of a mountain, the chicken is always going to be a chicken, and them eagles is always going to be eagles. That's just how it is. And the lack of motivation is something that has to be resolved inside themselves with personal development. You can't do it for them. I wish it was possible if we could. This is why people go to motivational speaking events like Tony Robbins and this, that, or a third once a year. And you notice the people that go are at the same income level the next year. I want you to really think. I know people that go to Tony Robbins every year, and I love Tony Robbins. I've never been, but the people that go, they love it. I know them personally. They go and they sit in the front and they run over the fire coals and they jump up and down and jump on the tables. And next year, they're at the same earning level in a network marketing business and at their jobs or whatever else. I've never seen a person, and I know dozens of them, who go to motivational speaker events all the time, and they are at the same level because that external motivation is going to wear off. That you got to really want it for your top 4 reasons why. Whatever those reasons are, you got to want it for you. You got to want it for you, and I can't want it more for you than you do. All right, so let's dive into a script. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the last script that we gave on the last call was the 24-hour follow-up. Okay, the 24-hour follow-up. Now, in the event that they do not answer your 24-hour follow-up, hey, Jeff, it's Will, just checking to see if you watched the video yet. If so, what did you like best about what you saw? If by chance they don't answer to that one, and then for you to go into your closing sequence, okay, with the trained words and phrases that we have taught y'all extensively over the last several calls, get the recordings, they're already out there if you haven't yet. 24 hours after you send that follow-up, you're going to send one follow-up, and with very few exceptions, this is typically the last follow-up I sent. Typically, this is going to be the last follow-up I sent. Typically, not all the time, but typically, okay? I call it a 48-hour follow-up because my first 24 hours, that's when I exposed them to the opportunity and went through the scripting with them, and they said, yes, I want information, send me a video. Okay, cool. Now, hopefully we get the process handled right then. If we don't, 24 hours after that, it would be 24 hours after the initial exposure, okay? I send that first follow-up. If they don't respond to that, 24 hours after that follow-up, which will be 48 hours after the initial exposure, 36 hours total, okay? 72 hours total. I'm gonna send one last follow-up that goes like this. Hey, Jeff, hadn't heard back from you. I'm just following up. I'm just curious, when you said you were interested in making money online, were you serious or should I scratch you off my list? Okay, and you can shorten that, you can lengthen it, but the most important words of that one are at the end, okay? Hey, Jeff, just following up. Hey, man, I'm just curious. When you said you were interested in learning more about making money online, were you serious or should I scratch you off my list? Now, ladies and gentlemen, right then you're going to get 1 or 2 responses. If you don't get a response, cool, done. They are not getting another follow-up from me. They're just not. I'm not about to hound them. I'm not about to message them back 87 times. Why? Because if I start to message them over and over and over and over and over and over again, okay, like Grant Cardone says, you gotta follow up 8 to 12 times. I'm not really a fan of that because 1, I ain't got time for all that, number 1. Number 2, if I gotta hit them up 12, 13, 14, 20 times, no wonder they don't want to do the business because they think they got to do that type of stuff. But if I send out a total of 2 text messages in 2 days and that's a wrap, that is still maintaining a good amount of posture. Okay, hey, Bob, just following up. I'm just curious, when you said you were interested in learning more about making money online, were you serious or should I scratch you off my list? Okay, if they do respond, it's typically going to be something like, oh man, yes, don't scratch me off the list. I've been so busy. I'm about to watch the video right now. And then you can go through the script with them when you're going to be done. What did you like best about what you saw? You can go through the scripts after that. If you don't understand that sequence, you need to go watch the videos that Coach Marcus just posted on the One Team, One Dream YouTube page, as well as in the chats. Watch the first 2 videos. This is part 3 in the series. Okay, you watch the first 2 over and over again until you understand the script and to the point where you don't even need notes. Okay, so just understand that. So that is the 2 follow-ups that I do, and it is a rare exception that there are exceptions, they're just very rare that I'm gonna go ahead and look to get to send more than 2 follow-ups. This is not necessary, and you want to definitely maintain as much posture as possible. The last thing we're going to close with on this call tonight, let me just check and see if we have any questions in the chat before we wrap up. Oh, there's a question. Does the same apply to a customer? Oh, it applies even more to customers. Yeah, if it applies to a customer promising to purchase a product, they're going to get 1 follow-up to see if they still wanted to do it. I would send them the same one. I would just change the verbiage. Hey, just following up, when you said you were interested in getting that product to invest in your health or to take your health to another level, were you serious or should I scratch you off my list? Totally fine, totally all good. I would do that too. It just really has the posture there. Once you follow up with the person that said they were going to buy a product one time, I actually personally, I don't even send a second one because they said they were going to buy something. Amazon doesn't have to remind them 97 times. T-Mobile doesn't have to remind them 97 times. The electric company don't have to remind them 97 times. whoever they got their financing through their car through don't have to follow up with them 97 times. The reason why we have to follow up with them 97 times is because we're not supposed to do that, but we do that because maybe deep down we know that we haven't really done a good enough job of showing them the value of our products or opportunity on the front end. And this is why I like videos. This is why I like videos like the black seed oil video. This is why I like videos like the lime video and the cayenne pepper video and the apple cider vinegar berberine video. This is why I like videos like the Power Max educational video. I like those videos because they are going to do the training, coaching, and teaching so we don't have to do it. Okay? We don't have to do that. You don't have to be a product expert or a guru. You can focus on sponsoring the right two people and teaching them the 20%, just the basics in the beginning. So you give them the ball and see what they're going to do with it, see what their motivation level's at. And that's one of the videos that they could watch every day. It's going to be a motivational video. Okay. Laura said here, lady with another essential oil company says she would never try our products. A year later, she is talking about reordering our potassium. Of course she is. And that's because Lori kept the posture. If Lori would have been hounding that lady, buy her stuff every day, buy her stuff. Hey, you gonna buy her stuff? The lady said she was never gonna buy it. I'm 90% sure Lori let it ride. But then that young lady watched Lori's energy. She watched the fact that Lori was still promoting the products, months and months and months and months later, still getting great weight loss results and still making income as well. Listen, and we can close the call with this. We'll just finish the call with this. Write this down. Facebook is the automatic rejection-free follow-up tool. We'll just wrap it up with that. Facebook is the automatic rejection-free follow-up tool. Okay. It has been a rare week over the last several years when I've not had a person that I that I talked to about the opportunity or saw a video eons ago, and they pop up after seeing some of our posts on our products or opportunity or people making income or just us living life and having fun and doing things we enjoy, okay? They see that information and it reminds them, they go, oh, snap, man, look, let me go back and highlight. And the second they click on it, there's already a message thread with you where you had dropped them the link a year ago or 6 months ago. And it wasn't all this chasing them down, trying to follow up with them 97 times. Okay. They just never followed up on what they were supposed to do. Cool, out of there. And then they look a year later and you done made more money. You're in better health. Your Facebook page is popping. Your real life is popping. And Facebook is the automatic rejection-free follow-up tool. Once you get somebody information, that's the first 24 hours. You follow up with them 2 times at the max, that's 72 hours. 72 hours to complete the process. If I done went back and forth with you for text once or twice a day for 72 hours and there's no decision being made, even at the $7.49 level, next. You're not getting more than, if we were to add all those words up that we did over all those calls, I think it'd be a little less than 200 words, maybe 180 words. Maybe 180 words, okay? So they're not gonna get more than 200 words out of me over the course of 72 hours. That's all they get. That's a max. I'm out, next. That's it. And I can memorize those 180 words. Why? Because I done memorized song lyrics and memorized the Star Spangled Banner and everything else. I done memorized all of that by repetition. Repetition is the mother of learning. What is repeated is remembered. What is remembered is repeated. I'm gonna just go through these scripts. Well, I mean, I've already have, but you could. I will go through the scripts so much that they become part and parcel of who you are. You memorize that 180, 185 words, it'll change your life. You just got to learn when to use them. It's a song, and you just got to learn when to sing the song and who to sing it to and how often to sing it. Okay, you're going to engage with them at the most for 72 hours, and then you out. Let Facebook do the rest. Just go out, live your life, win, fight for your dreams, and make the magic happen. All right. So that's all we got tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch up with y'all on Tuesday. I want to thank everybody so much. Merry Christmas to everybody. Let me make sure. Is Tuesday Christmas Eve or Wednesday Christmas? Am I one day off? We might not even have a call on Tuesday. Let me see if I'm one day off. Yeah, Tuesday's Christmas Eve. We do not have a call on Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. So we will see y'all next week. Yeah, no call on Christmas Eve. Just giving y'all a heads up. Nope. We want to keep the reason, for the season. Well, we love you. Want you to really spend that time with your families. they probably haven't seen y'all on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock in a long time. so, so so this will be your presence is a present to your people, man. We love y'all so much. I'm sure we'll pick up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with the calls like that, and then after that, we'll be bringing some incredible, exciting, very exciting announcements coming in for the new year. But y'all have a great holiday, great Merry Christmas with your families. Remember to keep the reason for the season. We love you. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next one. Y'all have a good night.